My girlfriend yelled, "You're holding me back." I said, "Fly free then." I unsubscribed her from my streaming, gym, and let her lease expire. A week later, her friends were messaging me, asking what happened. For the last 2 years, I thought I had it pretty good with my girlfriend, Teresa. We lived together in an apartment that's officially under my name, but we split the bills. Or rather, I paid the bills and she'd send me her share. Mostly, I make a decent living as a data analyst, nothing crazy, but it's stable. Teresa is an aspiring influencer lifestyle coach. Her words, not mine. I've always been supportive, paid for the high-speed internet she needs for streaming, the top-tier gym membership for her fitness content, and a bunch of other subscriptions she claimed were essential for her brand. I never saw it as just my money. I saw it as investing in us. In her dreams. I was happy to do it because I loved her. Or at least, I loved the person I thought she was. The cracks started showing a few months ago, little comments here and there. If I had a more aesthetic apartment, my engagement would be higher. My friend's boyfriend just bought her a new lighting rig. I brushed them off. I'm a practical guy. I'm saving for a house, not for Instagram props. The bomb dropped last Tuesday. I came home from work tired. She was in the living room, fuming. She'd been trying to film a day-in-the-life video, and the Wi-Fi had apparently buffered for a full 5 seconds during her live stream. The world, it seemed, was ending. I tried to be reasonable. "Babe, I can call the provider tomorrow. It's probably just a network issue in the area." That was the wrong thing to say. "It's always something," she exploded. "This connection, this small apartment, this whole situation. Don't you see it? You're holding me back." I just stood there, my keys still in my hand. "Holding you back? From what? I pay for the premium internet package you asked for." "It's not about the internet, Noah. It's about the mindset. My brand is about aspiration, about living your best life. And I'm stuck here in this average life with you. I could be so much more, but you're content with just being content. You're a cage. You're a cage. Me. The guy who works 9 to 5 so she can pursue a dream that so far has generated less income than a lemonade stand. The guy who eats cheap lunches all week so we can afford the organic, ethically sourced, gluten-free, whatever the hell ingredients she needs for one sponsored post." I felt something in me just switch off. The anger I should have felt wasn't there. It was replaced by a strange, cold clarity. I looked at her, really looked at her, and I didn't see the woman I loved. I saw a stranger who viewed me as a utility. So I took a deep breath and said calmly, "You're right." She blinked, thrown off. I am? "Yes," I said, walking to the kitchen and putting my lunchbox on the counter. "You deserve to live your best life, to be aspirational, to not be held back by my average, content existence. You should fly free, Teresa." A triumphant, smug little smile played on her lips. "So you get it then? You'll start making some changes? We can look at bigger apartments. Maybe you can invest in my brand properly." I shook my head. "No, I meant what I said. You should fly free. I'm unsubscribing you from my life." Her face fell. "What are you talking about?" "I'm holding you back," I said, pulling out my phone. "Let's fix that." Right there, in front of her, I logged into my streaming service account. Her profile was right next to mine. Click. Remove profile. "No more sharing my Netflix. You'll need your own account for your chill time vlogs." Her jaw dropped. "Noah, what are you doing?" "Setting you free," I said, scrolling to the next app. "Gym membership. That's under my family plan. Let's snip that." Click. Remove member. "You'll have to get your own. Probably for the best, you can find one with better selfie lighting." Her voice started to rise, hitting that shrill note I'd come to dread. "You can't do that. My fitness content depends on that gym. And your freedom depends on you not being tied to me," I replied, my voice still level. "I'm just giving you what you want." I looked up from my phone and met her furious gaze. "The lease on this apartment is up at the end of next month. I just got the renewal notice. I won't be signing it with you. In fact, I think I'll look for a smaller, one-bedroom place. More in line with my average life, you know?" She just stared, speechless. The entitlement was warring with the shock on her face. It was a sight to behold. "You're dumping me?" She finally stammered. "No." I corrected her gently. "You said I was a cage. I'm just opening the door. Fly free, Teresa." I then went into my bedroom and packed a bag of essentials, clothes, my work laptop, toiletries. I told her I'd be at my brother's place and would be back over the coming weeks to pack my other belongings. I needed to give her space, but also create distance for myself. I didn't yell, I didn't cry, I just executed. That was a week ago. I've been sleeping on my brother's couch, which is less comfortable than my bed but 1,000 times more peaceful. I haven't heard from Teresa directly, but her friends have been busy. My phone has been buzzing with messages. Dude, what's wrong with you? Teresa is a mess. You know she needs that gym for her work. Why would you be so petty? Are you seriously kicking her out after everything she's done for you? Teresa said you had a psychotic break. Are you okay? You should really apologize to her. They're painting me as the villain, the unstable ex who just flipped a switch. They have no idea what she said to me. They only know the narrative she's spinning. For now, I haven't responded to any of them. I'm just documenting. Every message, every accusation. Let them talk. They and Teresa are about to get a masterclass in natural consequences. Update 1. Alright, so it's been another 2 weeks. The dust hasn't settled. If anything, it's been kicked up into a full-blown entitlement storm. Thanks for all the comments and DMs on my last post. It's weirdly validating to know I'm not crazy. So, where to begin? With the influencer squad, I guess. The messages from her friends, Sarah and Marie, didn't stop. They moved from confused concern to outright hostility. I continued to ignore them, which apparently was the gravest insult of all. Last Friday, I got a call from an unknown number. I answered. It was Sarah. She didn't even say hello. Are you just going to ghost everyone? Teresa is having a full-blown crisis and you're acting like a child. Hello, Sarah. I'm not ghosting anyone. I'm disengaging from a situation I was told I was the problem in. Teresa wanted to be free of me holding her back. I'm respecting her wishes. Oh, cut the crap, Noah. You know she didn't mean it like that. You're supposed to fight for her. Instead, you cancel her gym membership? Seriously? Marie told me her client leads from that gym have completely dried up. A little backstory. Teresa doesn't have clients. She has a few hundred followers and once got a free protein bar in exchange for a post. The client leads were just guys who hit on her at the squat rack. Me, her business ventures are her own concern now. That's what being independent means. Sarah, unbelievable. She's going to lose her apartment because of you. She can't afford a security deposit on a new place right now. You know her brand is just starting to take off. You're supposed to be her support system. A support system isn't a blank check. The lease is up. It's a natural endpoint. She has until the 31st to figure it out. That's more notice than most people get. She scoffed, a really nasty, condescending sound. Wow, you've really changed. I guess this is who you really are. Petty and cruel. She hung up. The main event, though, came from Teresa herself. A few days after my call with Sarah, I received an email from her. Not a text, not a call. An email. The subject line was, Urgent, Logistics and Asset Division. I swear you can't make this stuff up. It was a bullet-pointed list. Financial support. As you know, my income is variable as I build my brand. My business coach, some guy she watched on YouTube, says that a sudden loss of spousal support can be detrimental to a fledgling female-owned business. I've calculated a fair transitional alimony of $1,500 per month for the next 6 months. This will allow me to secure a new apartment and continue my work without interruption. Asset claim. The following items in the apartment were used for my content creation and are therefore business assets. I will be taking them. The 65 Smart TV for watching and reacting to industry trends. The high-end blender for my smoothie recipes. The ergonomic office chair you bought for your WFH setup. It's perfect for my Get Ready With Me segments. And the potted fiddle leaf fig tree for background aesthetics. Subscription reinstatement. You need to reinstate the gym and streaming accounts immediately. It's a shared asset we both benefited from. Your unilateral decision to cancel them was a breach of our domestic partnership agreement. We don't have a domestic partnership agreement. We were dating. Lease takeover. I've spoken to the landlord. He's an old man, very sweet. He said if you write him a letter confirming you're moving out and that I've been a responsible tenant, he'll let me take over the lease. You'll need to co-sign as a guarantor, obviously, since my income isn't traditional. I read that email 3 times. My hands weren't even shaking. I felt that same cold calm wash over me again. The sheer, unadulterated audacity. The entitlement was so dense it could have its own gravitational pull. Co-sign for her? After she called me a cage? I took a day to formulate my reply. I didn't want to be emotional. I wanted to be factual, methodical. Over the past couple of weeks, I've been stopping by the apartment when I know she's out to pack my things. I've boxed up all my books, my personal documents, and smaller valuables. The big stuff, the TV, my chair, the kitchen appliances, the tree, is all still there. I wanted to move it all at once at the end of the month, but her email just changed the game. I replied to her email, CCing no one. Subject: urgent, logistics and asset division. Teresa, thank you for your email. I'll address your points in order. Financial support. I am not your spouse. There will be no transitional alimony. My financial obligations to you ended when our relationship did. I suggest you consult your business coach on strategies for monetizing your brand. Asset claim. Let's clarify ownership. The TV was a gift from my parents for my birthday last year. The blender I bought with my credit card points. The ergonomic chair is my property, which I need for my actual bill-paying job. The fig tree was a housewarming gift for me when I first moved in, before you. You are welcome to take anything you purchased with your own money. For clarity, that includes the pink yoga mat, the ring light, and the collection of inspirational quote mugs. I have located the digital receipts and proofs of purchase for my items. Subscriptions. These were paid for from my personal accounts for our mutual enjoyment. Our relationship has ended. Therefore, my paying for your personal entertainment and business aids has also ended. Lease takeover. This is the most interesting point. You want me to act as your financial guarantor after you stated my financial situation was a cage holding you back? That is, to put it mildly, inconsistent. I will not be co-signing anything. You are free. Truly free. That means you are free from my support and also free to support yourself. I have already informed the landlord that I will be vacating the property on the 31st and will not be renewing the lease under any circumstances. You have 12 days to vacate the premises and remove your personal belongings. Anything left after 5 p.m. on the 31st will be considered abandoned. I will be there on that day with my brother to remove the last of my property. This is my final communication on this matter. Any further correspondence should be about the logistics of you moving out. Regards, Noah. I hit send. It felt like launching a satellite into orbit, a clean, precise deployment. The fallout was immediate. About an hour later, my phone buzzed. It was a text from her mom. Noah, Teresa is hysterical. We are very disappointed in your behavior. You need to call me and we can sort this out like adults. There are two sides to every story. I typed back a simple, hello Janice, there is one fact in this story. Your daughter ended our relationship and now needs to move out. I wish her the best. And then I blocked her number. Teresa is about to find out that when you fly free, sometimes you fly straight into a brick wall of your own making. And that wall gets a lot harder when you try to take things that aren't yours. Update 2. It's the 30th of the month, the day before move-out. The last 10 days have been a masterclass in psychological warfare. I feel like I've aged 5 years, not from sadness, but from the sheer grinding stress of dealing with a level of delusion that defies science. After my last email, Teresa went quiet again. But this was a different kind of quiet. A plotting quiet. I used the time to find a new one-bedroom apartment closer to my office. Smaller, cheaper, and blissfully mine alone. I signed the lease and paid the deposit. My official move-in is the 1st. The plan was simple. Get my remaining stuff from the old place on the 31st and be done with it. Then, 4 days ago, the dirty trick I was half expecting finally landed. It wasn't a call. It was a formal-looking email from the landlord's management company. The subject line was, Formal Tenant Complaint Notice. My heart hammered in my chest. I opened it. The email was dry, bureaucratic. It stated that a complaint had been filed by the other occupant, Teresa, alleging a hostile living environment and emotional distress. It claimed I was using the lease termination to improperly evict her as an act of control. There were no specific accusations of abuse, just vague legal-sounding phrases. But the intent was clear, to paint me as the villain and potentially tie this up in some way that would either force me to pay her to leave or make the move-out process a nightmare. This is where the calm, collected narrator thing fell apart for a minute. My hands were shaking. I read it again, and a hot, sickening wave of panic washed over me. This wasn't about a gym membership anymore. This was a lie that could stick, a complaint that could go on some kind of record. She could actually ruin me with this. I immediately called my brother, Jesse. He's a paralegal, and my voice was anything but calm. I probably sounded like a crazy person. She's lying. She's trying to screw me. What do? They sent an email, a formal complaint. Noah, breathe, he said, his voice steady as a rock. Stop talking. Breathe. Good. Now what does the notice actually say? I read it to him. Okay, he said. This is a classic desperation move. It's all vague because she has no specifics. It's designed to scare you. What did the landlord say? It's from the management company, I said. It just says they're making a record of the complaint and remind all parties that the lease terminates on the 31st and the property must be vacated. Jesse let out a low whistle. Okay, so the landlord isn't taking her side. He's just covering his butt. That's good. He's staying out of it. This means it's still between you and her. You have her email demanding alimony and for you to be her guarantor. Right? Yeah, I saved it. Perfect, he said. That's your shield. She's not a scared victim. She's a failed business partner trying to renegotiate her exit package. Don't engage with her. Don't reply to the notice. Just stick to the plan. Show up on the 31st to get your stuff. I'm coming with you. We'll handle this with facts, not feelings. That call pulled me back from the edge. The panic subsided, replaced again by that cold, hard resolve. She had escalated. So would I. But with organization, not emotion. Which brings us to today. The 31st. High noon. I pulled up to the apartment building in a rented U-Haul van. Jesse was in the passenger seat. As we walked to the door, it swung open. Teresa was standing there, blocking the entrance. Sarah was behind her, phone held up like she was filming a documentary. A very smug, very nasty documentary. You can't come in here, Teresa said, her voice dripping with fake victimhood. Teresa, the lease is active until 5 p.m. today, I said, my voice level. I'm here to remove my personal property. No, she said, a small smirk on her face. You've caused me extreme emotional distress, and you've left all this stuff here as a way to control and intimidate me. These are abandoned assets now, or shared assets. Either way, they're staying. She specifically pointed past me towards the van. And you're not putting my business equipment in there. She was talking about my TV, my chair, my blender, my tree. Your business equipment? I asked. Yes, Sarah chimed in, moving closer with her phone. That TV is crucial for her media analysis. It's a business expense. This was it. The final, ridiculous stand. Jesse stepped forward slightly. Hi, Teresa. I'm Noah's brother, Jesse. Just so we're all clear, are you refusing to allow Noah to retrieve his belongings? I'm refusing to be intimidated, Teresa shot back. I had come prepared. I pulled a folder from my jacket. Teresa, this is getting silly. I have here the credit card statement showing my purchase of that television. I also have the email from my parents gifting it to me for my birthday. I have the order confirmation for the chair. Do you have anything at all to prove you own any of it? She faltered for a second. It was a gift. For the apartment. For us. Okay, I said, taking another step. Let's say you want to argue that in front of someone. You want to call the police? Please, go ahead. Call them. Explain to them that you want to keep my property. I held up a second paper from the folder. It was a printed copy of her email. And when they get here, I continued, my voice dropping a little lower, I'm going to show them this email you sent me 2 weeks ago. The one where you, a woman supposedly living in a hostile environment, demanded that your alleged source of distress, co-sign a new lease for you and act as your financial guarantor for another year. And I'll show them your demand for $1,500 a month in alimony. How terrified do you think you'll look then? I saw it in her eyes, the entire narrative crumbling. She had built her strategy on me being emotional, on a landlord being easily swayed, on her friend's support being enough. She never planned for receipts, for calm, documented logic. Sarah lowered her phone. The smugness on her face was gone, replaced by confusion. She was realizing her brave, victimized friend was actually just a bad liar. Teresa just stared at me, her mouth opening and closing silently. All the fire was gone. We're gonna move my TV now, I said, and my chair, and my blender, and my tree. You and your friend can either help, or you can get out of the way. Your choice. She didn't move, but she deflated, stepping aside. She looked small, pathetic. For the next hour, Jesse and I loaded my things into the van. Teresa and Sarah sat on the floor in her now empty bedroom, whispering. They didn't offer to help. They didn't say another word. The power was gone. As we loaded the last box, I took one final look at the apartment. All that was left were her things. The yoga mat, the ring light, some clothes strewn about. It looked temporary, a stage for a life that hadn't happened. I walked to the door, didn't look at her and said, "Leave your key on the counter." Goodbye, Teresa. I didn't feel triumphant. I didn't feel a rush of victory. I just felt empty and tired, but also profoundly, deeply relieved. The cage door had been open for a month, but it felt like I was the one who had just flown out of it. It's over. She has to figure out her own life now, and for the first time in 2 years, so do I. And my new apartment, even with an air mattress on the floor, has never felt more like home.